Thank you for the new follow. We'll be starting soon.
Yep, I'm
We
all
are up and running live on Twitch.
All right. Good evening,
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
friends, Romans, countrymen. Lend me your ears. Hey, Mark Antony, what's in the bag? Ears. What else? You know. So here we all are for Drums of War. My personal take on the Shadow of the Dragon Queen chronicled for the Dragonlance campaign setting. My name is JD the ST, and big thanks to Mr. Slendy for lending me his Twitch channel tonight. Welcome, everybody. These are my players. Folks, if you'll take a moment and go ahead and introduce yourselves. Give your name, please, along with your character's name, brief description, and class.
I can start us off. My name is Fool. My character's name is Ostoya Sunsong, a wizard half-elf who has come in search of simply learning her craft and mastering it.
My name's Frankie. As most of you guys know, if you're here on my channel, I'm playing Salik Sansley, the Goblin Fighter, who's got a bone to pick with a lot of people.
I'm Ricardo. I will tonight, and every other night after that, I will be playing the role of Grimdix Stormsoul, the Goliath Path of the Giant Barbarian. Just a big dude with big arms and big mustache.
All right. Hi, I'm Bravo. I will be playing Nicholas Bourbaki. He is a half-elf rogue doing swashbuckler. And he also has a nice mustache.
You know, I just feel like if we're going to do this thing, then we should all verify that, yes, mustaches and beards are indeed where it's at.
It's essential.
Yeah, man. So it makes it. Yes. Had to flex it off real quick.
That's fair. That's fair. I would too if I had one like that.
Just waiting another 10 years for to turn the rest of the way white so I can play Santa Claus at Christmas time properly.
Authentic.
It'll be grand. But for tonight, we have we have a lot of ground to cover. So, in our last episode, our heroes were united in a common cause. The members of the members of Captain Cudgel Iron Smile's Iron Regiment have been contracted by the village of Vogler to serve as a protective force for the village and to train up the locals in a militia. They have a contract for a season, 90 days, of which they are 30 days in. A couple of days ago, Salak and some other friends and associates
Welcome, everybody. Feel free
took
to
a
join in the
wagon
chat.
and went
Welcome
into
to Dragonlance.
the relatively
Remember
nearby
to
city of
follow the
Kalaman
page if you haven't
to
already.
purchase supplies for the company. They were assaulted by bandits on the way there and dealt with them handily with the help of their platoon sergeant who was accompanying them and supervising the trip. But on the way back, they were confronted by mysterious cloaked figures with reptilian features and wings that were kept hidden under their cloaks. The platoon sergeant, Sergeant Duncan, a longtime veteran of the company, was killed
you're taking
during
a
this
contested
action,
dunk when I'm watching.
but Salak and his friend, diminutive Half-Step, a Minotaur Ranger who is a member of the company's scout platoon, were able to overcome their adversaries, retrieve the sergeant's body, and return to camp with the supplies. In the wake of this return, they were confronted by the captain, debriefed, and after the funeral was held for Sergeant Duncan, they returned to their unit and were sent out on a reconnaissance scout. The four squads from the reconnaissance and scouting platoon were sent out. And while they were making the rounds, they came across, well, more trouble, but only mildly so. They dealt with it adequately. But then, in the night, as they were beginning to move again at just before first light, they came upon an ambush already in progress. It seems that Grimdeck and his squad had been sent out on a reconnaissance mission of their own several days previously. And now, in the middle of the night, were being beset by hobgoblins. Nearly everyone in Grimdeck's squad had been killed, save the squad leader and one other man, when Salak and Diminutive and their squad raced in to the rescue. They were able to get the badly injured sergeant in charge of Grimdeck's command back to camp and into the hands of the company's surgeon, a man named Taylor, whose primary trade is that of a barber. It was revealed that Sergeant Mergen, Grimdeck's squad leader, and his entire squad, including Grimdeck, had been listed as being absent without leave for the last several days, because the orders to send them out into the countryside had not in fact come from the commanding officer of the company. This casts some doubt onto the loyalty and faithfulness of Lieutenant Gregonis, the commander of the company's heavy infantry platoon. While the captain confronted Gregonis, Salak and Diminutives slipped away to Lieutenant Gregonis' tent, where Salak discovered a treasure chest filled with more gold than an honest mercenary could expect to see in a year's work. Meanwhile, Diminutive, keeping watch outside, saw Gregonus returning from the captain's tent and begin to try to distract him from re-entering his own. Lieutenant Gregonus, being a powerful half-ogre, opted for the direct approach and simply shoved diminutive half-step aside. In moments, it became a free-for-all. Gregonus ducked into his tent, realized that the chest of gold had been dragged out through a slit in the back of the tent, and instead of emerging swinging a weapon, stepped outside and blew a war horn, summoning the troopers of his heavy infantry company to his side. The mutiny broke out in camp, with the members of the Iron Regiment turning on one another in the night. Chaos reigned through the streets of the company's little stockade. Men fell left and right. At the end of it, the Iron Regiment, a proud and prosperous mercenary company of 200 men, had been reduced by nearly half its number. Only 110 able-bodied fighting men remain. Captain Cudgel Ironsmile remains in command. Lieutenant Gregonus's head has been mounted on a pike, and the sergeants who supported his attempt at a coup have been executed. Into this void, we find ourselves with Salak and Grimdeck having been promoted from private soldier to corporal, each given command of a squad of troops themselves. I have taken the opportunity to provide at least names and basic descriptions of each of the men, and I would like to take this opportunity to lean over to Astoya, who has also been given a not exactly necessarily command in the strictly military sense, more as a mage of high sorcery, Astoya is somewhat outside the normal operating parameters for the company, but does have a couple of support personnel to assist her, and a stated mission of working with Grimdeck and Salak and their troops in pursuit of the company's goals, which is where we pick up tonight.
And it's the following morning, I believe, right?
It is the following morning. The
Long rest.
Long rests have been granted. Everybody feels a little better. The fires have been put out. Graves are still being dug. You can't just kill 90 people and just leave the bodies laying around. It causes all kinds of problems.
That is true.
And most notably, at first light, the company is gathered together by a bugle call to lay to rest those loyal men and women and minotaurs and what have you that fell before the mutineers' blades. First among them, our good friend Diminutive Halfstep. The captain calls everyone together on the central parade ground. Looks around. Steps up on a crate because, as a dwarf, she's having trouble seeing over the people in the back. And begins to speak. Her voice rings out into the early morning air like a clarion call. Good morning. Yesterday morning, I would have greeted you all as simply soldiers, men and women under my command. Today, I greet you all as friends. For the first time in its 20-year history, the Iron Regiment has faced a challenge against my command from within. And you all have chosen to stand beside me. I cannot tell you how much that means to me. The mutineers were drawn astray by the promise of wealth. Lieutenant Dragonlance betrayed us and lured our brothers and sisters into doing the same. This morning, while the village of Vogler is celebrating the Kingfisher Festival, we will hold a funeral and bury our dead. Anyone who wishes to speak or give a eulogy for one of the fallen may do so. She pointedly looks over at you, Salik, and kind of raises an eyebrow.
Salik kind of looks around nervously. Not sure.
Okay.
A lot like that.
She continues without calling you out. I would like to announce a couple of changes in the chain of command currently. Due to our losses, the heavy infantry platoon has been disbanded for the time being. The scouts and light infantry are being combined. And the handful of survivors from the heavy infantry platoon who did not turn against us are being gathered together in a squad under Grimdeck's command. Grimdeck and Salik are being promoted to squad leader. Your rosters are in your hands already at this point, gentlemen. We also have already begun replenishing our losses. We received a new recruit tonight. Where is Nicholas? Nicholas? Ah, there you are. We will attach you to Salik's squad for training. You'll accompany them in the field. We'll figure out better where to put you as your relevant skills become more apparent. Now, go ahead.
Oh no, just John. Sorry.
Okay. Lieutenant Erdrich, please step on up. And Lieutenant Paul Erdrich steps up beside her and quickly echoes her sentiments. He takes a moment and does the absolutely unexpected, though. Friends, I am not going to, for a moment, defend Dragonlance' action. We do not know who turned him against us, but I've served with him the entire time that I have been in the regiment. He has been a faithful soldier all this time. The lure of gold is strong for all of us. It's why we do this. But we fight for each other more than anything else. And I hope that you all have the strength of character necessary, the personal honor necessary not to follow down his dark road. Thank you all for being here this morning. Thank you for standing with us last night. And he steps away from the crate that the captain had stood upon. There is a moment of awkward silence.
Alec kind of shuffles up and stands up on the crate. And then realizes it's still kind of short. And he clears his. Today, we gathered to honor the memory of a bunch of brave warriors. Could still be standing. I didn't know. I don't know a lot of Demi. Demi was good. We were different in many ways. He was a minotaur, towering and powerful, and I'm a goblin. Well, I'm short, but I'm pretty fierce in spirit. Backgrounds couldn't be different, but somehow, in the midst of chaos of traveling with you guys for a year, we formed a pretty close bond. It was really our differences that brought us together. His strength, my agility, his courage, my soul. Also, we had different personalities. Timmy was nice, loyal. I don't know. Some of you might know I could be a bit of a prick. He didn't deserve what happened to him. None of these men did. I don't care how long you served with that asshole. The first person who tries to pull his head off that pike, slit your fucking throat in your sleep. Thank you.
From the back of the crowd, there is a raucous cheer at that last sentiment.
I think
Right.
Grimdick would kind of sort of follow after. Once Sally kind of steps up, you see Grimdick kind of, making his big ass all the way up there, all the way up to the thing. He kind of sort of just, is it kind of like a stage or some sort, or like a little,
Nope.
or is it just the
Just
crate?
a crate. Yep.
Yeah.
Just a crate.
Despite him not necessarily needing it, I think this, he steps up regardless, kind of like overlooking everybody and says, "What happened the night before was tragic. I need not remind you the lives that were lost, but know this. I will make it my sworn duty to restore the heavy infantry. The heavy infantry of past fought with no honor. They let their greed, they let their naivety get the better of them. Gold and riches can buy you many nice things. It is the honor and the value of us as people that should drive us forward. We should fight not for the sake of coin, but for the sake of protection. We are no ordinary mercenary group. We rise to the occasion when the occasion needs risen, and we stomp out the opposition. We will stand together we will stand strong, and we will fight with honor and die for glory. That is my promise to each and every single one of you here.
Here, here, comes the call
Hell
from
yeah.
one of the men that you recognize as a mountain dwarf named Elmo. He was in one of the other squads in the heavy infantry company. He claps his axe against his shield and shouts, "Here, here!"
Speech was better than mine, Grimdick.
Really? That was my first time. And he kind of steps down and walks back into the crowd.
It is at this moment that the sentry on duty at the gate rings the bell located there and calls out, "Rider coming in!" The sergeant major steps forward and bellows, "Get back to work, you apes! We ain't got all day." Sergeant Major Fairweather may be only human and 2 full feet shorter than Grimdeck, but his voice carries just as well. It is sometimes wondered if he perhaps uses a tad bit of magic to supplement his abilities, because otherwise, you're just not sure how a guy that size could be that loud. But he gets the message across. And it is into the bustling camp that the knight Becklin Uth Qatar drifts into camp on her horse, looks about, and comes riding towards where the group of you are all standing near the captain. She is wearing the breastplate from her armor, shield slung off the saddle, her sword at her hip. She swings down out of the saddle and comes up to where you all are all standing on foot. Says, "Cudgel, old friend, is everything okay? I wanted to come during the night, but it seemed like you may have had your hands full." The captain looks around, says, "Well, if not for these folks here," indicating Astoya, Grimdeck, and Salak, "we might not have been." She unfolds the whole horrendous tale. Says, "I am afraid that we are not going to be ready to participate in your mock battle this afternoon. I hate to say it, but with everything that has gone on just in the last 36 hours or so, we can't do this today. It will have to be postponed or canceled, but that's up to you and the mayor." The knight looks around and says, "I understand. The defense of the community takes precedence. I will leave you to your preparations." She turns and rides back out, and Captain Ironsmile turns to the group of you all. Says, "Gather your new squads. I know you just got back, and I know we fought a murder and great battle right here inside the camp last night. But I have got to know what's going on. I need you to get out into the countryside and find out what's coming our way.
You have my word, Lieutenant. We will find those responsible, and we will bring them to justice.
The captain looks up at you and she says, I swear, is the air too thin for you up there? You just demoted me? Ah.
Oh, apologies. I am not very good with
She
the ranking systems. Who are you again?
chuckles and pats your knee. I'm your boss. Don't worry about it.
Hello, boss.
Ah.
That is
You
a type
asked
of
for it,
captain, is it
boss.
not?
Yes, it is.
Hey,
The
you're
sergeant
that
major.
fancy boy.
If you need his help, I can go. I volunteer. I can help out.
Oh yeah, you do. You're now part of Alex Salad.
I will have to write that down on my notes.
Yes. Oh yes.
Salamander.
That's going in. That's one for the books.
That's because you all are the tail. You know why you're the tail? Because you're expendable.
Oh,
I hate how
That's
smooth
why-
that is.
I do not agree with this analogy.
It was a joke, Grimdeck. Let me scare the
Ah.
guy.
Yes,
The sergeant
a
major is
joke.
standing off to the side, sipping a cup of coffee, using the cup to hide the smirk on his face.
Well, now, let us not waste any more time. I believe we have some culprits to catch.
An hour later, fully
Oop.
equipped.
That was fast.
The
Yeah,
montage.
you know,
Movie magic.
packing your backpacks and gathering up your new squads does not take you long.
Yes.
And for those of you at home, we have here the map of the area around Vogler and Kalaman.
Look, guys, there it is.
I know, right?
It's real.
What? Ah. Okay, quick, everybody, while he's gone, let's talk about Frankie. No,
All right, man. Boy, do I have some opinions about Frankie. The guy that I've known for like 2 days,
Right?
till 2 weeks.
Opinions.
Boy,
Yeah,
howdy.
Isn't he grand?
Ain't he just something else?
All right.
So we're heading. So it's both the Salix salamanders now, and the Grumdix grunts together, like all these little groups
Yep.
that they've been assigned.
Grimdix Gabagools.
I have 2 people, maybe. I don't know if Max
Well,
is in Tremaine.
You're really missing an opportunity to have Grim goblins. Just
That's cool.
But they are not goblins. They may look like goblins, but I assure you, 2 of them are dwarves.
Really salamanders.
Grindex
Not last I
gobblers.
checked. I feel I am too large to be a salamander, and too gray.
Gremdex
Oh my.
Gabagoo.
Grimdix Gabagools. That's my company name.
Exactly.
Oh my.
Strikes
Right.
fear.
So now would be the perfect time for me to try to escape.
You know, go for it. Let's see how that goes. So, Nicholas, let's talk about you. You arrived in the night to be
I don't
nosy.
see shit.
Made it through the gate by lying and saying you were here to sign up, and you were immediately carried off to a tent where you were pretty much conscripted into staying the night. You stood through the assembly while they gave their little bit of a speech this morning. What are you gonna do? How are you gonna get away from these guys? There's over 100 of these guys, and they look bloodthirsty and crazy. What do you think?
The classic hide behind a tree and run away.
Classic hide behind a tree and run away. Okay. Well, you've been given the golden opportunity. We've got Salak, Grimdeck, Astoya, and 10 others that are going out on this patrol. A reconnaissance in force, I guess you'd say. And you have been given permission to go with them. You've been ordered to do so. So they're going to let you walk right out the gate of their little stockade that they have around their camp, which is halfway to being out of the army already. How long do you wait after walking out the gate with them before you actually try to slip away? I'm assuming you're smart enough not to try to get away before the group leaves the camp.
Yes. I'm going to try to escape like a good 20 minutes.
Okay.
And I'm gonna slowly fall behind into the ground.
Okay. Well, it's not much of a crowd, like I said. There are only 10 of you going on this little expedition. And you are being sent out on a reconnaissance of the general area right here in close around the village of Vogler, staying on this side of the river.
Yes.
So, just right here, basically gonna cover 4 hexes on the map.
All right. I am going to wait till like we are right around here.
So, kind of going for this western edge here.
Yes.
Okay. Very good. That is going to take you about an hour walking away from the village and away from where your ship was docked. But it should be easier to get away from them all then. So, Astoya, Grimdeck, Salak, as the 3 of you are now in charge of this little unit, you've got some decisions to make and possibly some plans. Guys want to hash that over yourselves, or?
Are we just doing a patrol?
Yep, a quick patrol around the immediate area.
Has Salak ever looked over a map of the city?
Yes, you have.
Make some kind of goal. You know, I grew up in Montana, and if I was gonna play back after killing that heavy infantry, where would I lead that attack? Kind of try to get an idea of
Okay.
try to do some attack. You know, Salak's not very smart.
You know, you came up with the idea, and it is a legitimate choice. Why don't you make that a history check for us?
6.
Salik is not the sharpest tool in the shed when it comes to military tactics and things. You've got the basics of how to get a group of troops to walk a patrol and what you're looking for while you're on it, but, complicated tactics like commanding an army and most advantageous angle to attack from may be a little advanced. Grimdeck, do you want to try to think along the same lines while you guys are walking and talking?
Yeah, I would like to think possibly some. I think it's a similar. I think I'm just gonna repeating what Sadiq was saying about just some
Okay.
perhaps some areas that are not so like it's not like a main road. There's more hidden areas that
Okay.
don't have that much what's the word when people like walk through, so it's easier for people
Not
to
as much
hide.
traffic.
Traffic, yep, exactly.
Okay. Well, if y'all will take a moment and zoom in on the map, the area that I've circled, and just outside it, we'll notice that there are 2 tributaries into the larger river, basically that flank the village of Vogler, one to the east and one to the west. Each one of those have marshy areas around them. Vogler is built in a sheltered section of hills with a low, almost flat approach down to the water's edge, but the town quickly slopes up away from the water. The hills to the north of the village would be a good place for a group of troops to be able to move concealed to get into position without being seen by the traffic on the road, which, if you'll look, you see this approach right through here, above that blue line. That is the main road in and out of Vogler. And if you were moving a large group of people, that would probably be your area to look at. With some conversation between the 3 of you, if anybody wants to make that history check again with advantage,
you can try.
Who? Astoya has proficiency? Perfect. Hey guys, let the wizard do the planning.
But, or at least when it comes to history and in Arcana, I can help.
Yeah.
Never mind. Well, 11.
I thought they were a sorcerer anyway.
Can I just use my
Nope.
No, I
inspiration
changed
to
the wizard.
reroll mine?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you've got a point of inspiration. Reroll that sucker.
Oh my god, worse.
Oh, is it?
I rolled a 5. I don't know why I did.
Weird. Nor do I. Weird. Okay.
I'll take a crack at it. 12.
All right. So yeah, the area to the north of the hills that surround Vogler is probably the most direct threat. But then again, it wouldn't take much in the way of force to overwhelm the village if it weren't for the mercenaries. So they, depending on how strong the force is that was trying to buy Gregonis off, maybe they would just come marching up the road. One way or the other, the area that the captain has asked you to take a look at is small enough that you can make the complete circuit before sunset and be back to the village and the camp before the sun goes down.
As in, like, go around the hills and see what's on the other side. You can't just
Pretty much.
walk over the hill.
Sure, you can go through. I mean, if you want to go straight that direction, you can. So,
Yeah, I like that idea.
Well, they've taken to the hills. Will grant us a solid vantage point at the very least. If there is something on the other side, we stop it. If there isn't, we keep watch and then go home if nothing happens. But I doubt it. I have a sneaking suspicion that there is something afoot. Something diabolical.
Bucket, take point, cart behind him. Latent patience. I want a nice halfway, heavy left.
okay.
Elmo, keep doing what you are doing. You're doing great.
Elmo waves at you from the rear and says, "Urgh," bashes his axe against his shield again.
Where's Nick? Hey, Nick. Nick, where's Nick?
Oh, God. What? Who was in
So-
charge of the new guy?
So, now's the time. Bravo, go ahead and make a stealth roll for me. Let's see how you do on getting away from the patrol.
Dirty 20.
A dirty 20. All right.
Oh, guys, I think this is just a session ramp on. I guess a campaign ramp on old buddy.
Yeah. So, let's go ahead and get everybody's perception checks.
Hey, 12.
Astoya?
Hey.
Hey. All right, now here comes the fun one. Are you ready? Let's see, we have. Ignore the total that this is going to give us. Just looking at the dice. And there's a nat 20 as Big Bucket turns his head to acknowledge that Salik has pointed him to take point. Bucket says, "Hey, boss, ain't that the new guy there over there in those bushes?"
Should have taken a ship before we left.
Yeah.
I was craving berries.
Berries? In this neck of the woods? There are no good berries around here. They'll turn you purple, and then they'll kill you. The purple skin is not as bad as the death, I'll admit.
Elmo comes traipsing up to you guys. And says, "All right, which way are we going, corporals?"
Oh,
and
we are
so
taking to the mountains.
Okay, so we now have our handy dandy token for the troops on the march.
Oh, I say
Dude, that's us.
Northwest, then
Okay.
north, then northeast, and then south.
Okay.
Move clock.
Okay.
So, go ahead.
What's a clock? I don't know why.
Neither do I.
I think I've seen one before at a rich person's house.
Nick, let me look at your gear. What do you got on?
You're just asking him to empty his pockets?
No, I want to look at his bow and his armament. I don't know what your armament.
Oh, I have a hand crossbow and a rapier.
Let me see your hand. I do an inspection for dirt and make sure his weapon's
Mm-hmm. Okay.
18. How clean's your weapon?
It could be cleaner, but it's not too bad.
Well, you're gonna have to do a little bit better. You'll get there though. A week in the kitchen should help you.
Oh man. So grab the token for your unit and set it in whichever square you're headed for. Okay.
I thought we were just going straight through the hills. I thought that was the idea.
Well, we've got to make the entire patrol route. It doesn't make any sense if we go north first, and then because then east or west, we would have to cut back through north. Or do you want to go straight north?
As I go straight north first, we get like a vantage point, see if there's anything over the hills, and if there's nothing, we just circle back around.
Fine by me.
Okay. So let's go ahead and have everybody please make survival checks for us.
Hey, got +3 to that.
Nat
Well.
20
Well,
Nice.
or a 20.
And Fool gave us a BRB. Doesn't sound like they are back at the table yet. That is okay. Salix Nat 20 is a fine place to start. As you guys move up into the hills overlooking the village and begin moving through the low woods that cling to them, you have your eyes open. You have your men around you. And as you come to a clearing, you find what looks like a campfire ring. Salik, with that nat 20 on your survival check, yeah, this fire is still warm. It's been packed down and buried over with earth to smother it, but it's still warm. Somebody was in this camp this morning.
Footprints around, maybe give us an idea of direction.
It looks like there are a total of. Looks like there may have been a total of 6 humanoids gathered around the fire at some point during the night. You can see the impressions in the grass where they've smashed down the grass that was growing around it, with their bodies and their blankets laying down at night. You also find what looks like a picket line where they had tied out a few horses. There are fresh droppings. What you find in terms of where they headed, it looks like they split up. 2 of them went basically due west from the camp, while the other 4 went to the southwest. You guys have come basically due north from the village to reach this spot. You're not sure what the significance of this group splitting up is, though. 2 groups of scouts. Hard to say. Could be just about anything.
Grimdick.
But all
want you and the wizard take your men and try to track that way. I'll take Nick, my group, the other way.
I suppose that would be wise. I am not There's a feeling in my chest that irks me to not split our party, but for the sake of this mission, I believe that may be the best course of action.
Okay.
What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, indeed. What could possibly go
It's the
wrong
first
by
roll of
splitting
Dungeons
the
and
party?
Dragons. You always. I mean,
Yes.
All right.
or
Or...
we go after the bigger group together.
Seems legit.
That would make a lot more sense. I'm not sure how much of a threat a small group would pose as, well, opposed to a bigger group. I'm sure if the small ones will try to pull anything, we will deal with them accordingly.
That's why we keep you around, Grimdeck. You're the brains of this operation.
No, absolutely.
I wholeheartedly disagree. Let's go.
It's that lovely smile.
Why, thank you. It's like a little ding as he smiles.
Fool, are you back with us yet?
Yes, I am now back.
Okay,
Just
wonderful.
not about Grimdeck's smile. Perfect white teeth, perhaps.
Ding.
Surprisingly enough.
Yes.
Do we
Yes.
get dental coverage while in the Iron Regiment? I'm curious. This is very
Dental
relevant to
coverage?
Sadly, no.
Oh, no. We're really
y-
into shitter now, guys.
You don't need to cover your teeth. That's what your face is for. Thank you, I'm here all night.
We're doomed.
All right. So, you guys set out to follow the larger of the two parties. It also bears pointing out that it's probably easier to track 4 men on horseback than it would be to track 2. You know, more horses, easier to follow the trail.
Can I perform a ritual while we're
4 is a larger number than 2, yes.
Can you perform a ritual? What kind of ritual?
like to perform weapon bond?
Ah, yes, that kind of ritual. So what are you taking as your bonded weapon, out of curiosity? Mr. I'm an Eldritch Knight now.
Duncan's dagger? That way I can throw it.
Very cool. As I recall, the retrieval function of the weapon bond is a bonus action, is that right?
I believe he's
As a bonus
checking.
action, yep. Teleport.
Okay. Perfect. All right. Well, hey, you know, that's actually pretty cool. That gives you the opportunity to throw it twice in one turn once you hit 5th level. So, all right. Very good. So, as we move through the forest, over the hills, let me have everyone go ahead and give me another survival check, please. Astoya, do you have any particular tricks or tools that would help you guys zero in on your quarry?
Yes, I completely forgot to do it before we left, but I have a Find Familiar spell what I have been able to ritual cast.
Oh,
Bird.
absolutely. You have your familiar out and active. What kind of familiar are you traveling with?
A bird. What bird? That is a good question.
If it's not an owl, it doesn't count at all.
Okay, then it'll most likely be a cool owl.
All right.
What? That could be a pigeon or something. Make it a cool
Pigeon.
bird.
Pigeons, I see as the most sort of, are like just the weird birds. I've been to
The
New
apex
York,
bird.
The apex.
Pigeons are the only birds that if they want to, they can just take the subway. There are videos out there.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that is
New York pigeons.
that is
they
so
laugh
weird.
like flying.
New York in
Alright.
general is just like its own little like fantasy land.
Exactly.
Okay.
So would my would my owl kind of assist in some way?
Yep, absolutely. Do you want to give your owl a name while we're at it?
That's a good question. I will come back to you on that.
That's
For
fair.
now, it'll be owl. Owl 1.
Owl 1. Okay. Not to be mistaken for Owl 32.
Exactly.
Hopefully we won't meet that one tonight.
Mhm.
Let's see. I am going to make this owl visible to all players. And
If
put
that
it...
owl were to die in battle, I'll have to make a new one called Owl 2.
Indeed.
Let's hope.
Okay. You will now find your owl's character sheet directly below yours.
Hey, nice. So I guess I'll have my because I know I'll have my owl kind of scout like higher in the sky, see if they see anything.
Okay. So doing that in particular is one of the best things that you could be doing. Gives you the opportunity to get your owl.
Since I have no real proficiency in survival, I'm thinking this could be a good
Oh
alternative.
yeah. So with a bird's eye view at your disposal, you are able to quickly survey the surrounding hills and find out where these people have gone. There is no substitute for direct observation of the enemy. Please make a perception check using your owl's eyes.
Sure.
Nicholas, while everybody is gathering around here, you see that this has been a great opportunity to get to know some fancy new people, and you have done exceptionally well on your survival check here to see which way these guys went when they broke camp. It seems to me that following the trail that you can plainly see, maybe if you've got the group planning to follow the trail of the larger group, what do you want to do? Because you could see where the trail for the 2 went as well. Or you could just try to sneak off into the woods again. But that didn't work out so good for you the last time.
You know what? I'm going to follow the trail of the 2.
Okay. So, gonna take a chance and see what happens, huh?
Yes.
All right. So, it looks like Owl 1 has not had any luck picking up the enemy movements. The tree cover is quite heavy.
It failed me. I'm about to. Looks like I'm just going to start looking for an Owl 2 very soon.
Well, perhaps sooner rather than later, certainly. But if you are going to follow the other group, Nicholas, let me have you get another stealth check going on. Oh, that's going to be tough to beat. So, you attempt to slip away from the party again. Guys, let's go ahead and get perception checks from everybody.
Ooh, perception checks.
Yep. Nicholas is trying to slip away into the bushes again. Uh, and nobody sees him go this time. All right. Astoya, you have got Tremaine and
Yes.
Mask at your disposal. Mask is essentially acting as the party's medic.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you at home who don't recall, in the world of Kryn, the setting for the Dragonlance Chronicles, true clerics have not been seen in the world in over 300 years, and magical healing is a thing that basically doesn't exist. So, we have surgeons and field medics and the like. And the mask is yours. Now, Tremaine is an apprentice wizard. He is just getting started on his road as a red-robed wizard, but he shows promise, and he is eager to learn. Do you have anything in particular that you want to put them to work in?
At the moment, we're kind of focusing on is tracking. So for now, I'll have them do the similar to what we're doing.
Okay.
At the moment, doesn't seem like we need anything else. Let me see. Yeah, no, at the moment, I can't think of anything else for them to do aside from what everyone else is doing. So I'll just have
Okay.
them join us.
Very good. All right. So, Nicholas, you find yourself slipping away down the other track, following the pair of soldiers that wandered off. Are you actually going to follow them and see where they go, or are you just following their trail because you know that this group of guys that you want to get away from is not going that way?
I'm actually curious now.
Are you
I'm kind
now?
of curious what they're planning.
Okay.
So
So you
yeah, I'm
okay,
gonna go
actually
follow them.
okay, very good. That's cool. So, in that case, we are going to put you on hold for a moment, sir, and let you go wandering off into the woods by yourself. And we will
Okay.
now take a moment, grab this little tool right here, and bring you guys to a new location. You will notice that there is dynamic lighting in effect.
Oh, do we drag our tokens?
Let's see. I will show you where to place your tokens in just a moment. I am making one brief change. let's go ahead and have everyone place your tokens up here in the top right corner.
Okay.
It is daylight, but the woods on these hills are fairly thick. Let's see. Rain and mask. Let's see. Doo-doo. So, your trail that you are following leads you into the forest this direction.
Oh, wait. Grimdick isn't here.
Oh, no, I'm here.
Okay.
I mean, their token. Unless.
That is true. I am in eternal darkness right now.
Okay.
But you
so,
have to. Did you drag your token here to this corner?
Yep. Pull your token up here to this corner of the map.
I did not.
Yep.
Now I did.
There you are.
Hey, there you are. Can you see now?
I see it all.
Gosh, everything? Really? Wow. I hope not. I had some surprises in store for you guys.
He sees everything. He sees the DM in the sky.
No. But I'm
I
not.
see you.
But I'm not wearing my cool T-shirt.
Oh no! He's like, yeah. There's a guy in the sky. Anybody see it?
Does anybody else see that very bearded fellow in the sky with a not his favorite T-shirt on?
Uh-huh. All right, so the heavy-duty, thuggish-looking fellows behind you are your guys. Here, Grimdeck. The lighter armored and, quiver of arrows sticking over their shoulders tokens represent the scouts in Salak's unit. And of course, back here we have Tremaine and Mask. So, friends, your troops are at your disposal. How are we going to do this?
Since we're heading this
Southwest.
direction. Southwest.
Correct.
Okay.
So I would like my troop to be in a red, the almost exact reverse of the way they're set up, with
Okay.
5 feet, 10 feet.
And where do you want that point?
Is this like a rock formation in front of us? That's why we can't see.
You are basically looking at hills, and if you can't see through it, then that means you have to go around it, or you have to take a athletics roll to climb over it.
Basically,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going left.
at least that's where I'm sending my men.
No, they are the scouts, so I'll trust your
Yeah.
judgment.
So kind of like so,
Yeah.
as a formation.
Put that. Yep, there you go. But
Okay.
then I would be at the rear.
Seems legit. Go ahead and place yourself there. All right, Grimdick, what about you? You've got your... The guys with Salak are lightly armored and can move quietly through the woods. The guys on your side of the dividing line are more heavily armored and are not quiet by any stretch of the imagination.
I also think that the moment I form them up, I notice Nick isn't here.
Mm-hmm.
And
And?
I'm going to note that and relay it back to Grimdeck that did you see Nick? Soya, did you see Nick?
She'll look around
Oh.
like she's just noticing. Oh yeah, where's
Yeah.
that little flamboyant fellow?
Which one is that one again? The flamboyant one?
Yeah.
The one that's too clean to be... The one that stands out because of how clean and nice he looks.
I love it.
Well, I would hope everyone here is clean. We are soldiers, not barbarians.
Mask pipes up from the back of the group. Yeah, Taylor's got some very strict regulations about hygiene. Armies that don't stay clean don't stay healthy for long.
Exactly.
Okay, the colorful one.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Noted.
colorful one.
You better have a good excuse, or that's gonna be free. Kitchen thing.
My grandmother has told me tales of these colorful ones. She did not have very choice words for them.
That's great.
Different generations, I'm afraid. But alas, this is rather concerning. I do believe. But also a bit coincidental. This is the second time our poor, colorful friend has gotten himself lost.
I'll see. I'll try to. I'll ask my fellow owl to scout around on our way back for a bit, see if she can notice
All right.
if perhaps he fell behind or got stuck somewhere.
Okay. Let's go ahead and get your owl out on the map here. Now that you're
good old owl one.
boop.
There she is.
And let me go ahead, make sure she has vision. So you should be able to see through the owl's eyes.
Yep.
Okay, very good. So, you are now free to move the owl around the board and seek out the enemy.
Thanks. Unfortunately, the enemy is actually just Nick. So on our way, so it's probably I don't know if we came from here. So while we're kind of, patrolling, I'll have Owl One. I'll fly back, see if she spots Nick.
Okay.
And if so, to report back. So to just be flying back and.
Go ahead. Bravo, let's go ahead and get a stealth check from you. With disadvantage because you don't think you're being followed, so you're not trying super hard to hide. And let's go ahead and get another perception roll from our owl buddy.
Oh.
Double punch, okay. We'll take the 13 and call it good.
22.
All right. Yep. Your feathered friend is able to spot Nick. From what you get from the owl, it looks like he has taken the initiative. He is following the track of the other two people who left that camp that you had found. So maybe he's on mission and just doing his own thing. Or maybe he's a deserter. Who knows? Hard to say.
Hard to say. And how
can't lose those.
Can be both.
Yeah.
And how far? I guess how far is that from us? Direction wise, is that completely opposite from where we are?
He is north and west of your position. From where you are, basically, he would be off the map that way.
Oh, west, you said. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
West and slightly north.
All right.
The tracks of the group that you guys are following, though, do continue to go this way.
Okay.
If he dies, he dies. I don't have time for John Rambo. You've heard the legend of John Rambo, right?
No. I am unfamiliar with this Jonathan Rambeau.
I shall relay to you the tale of the first blood. For now, we track. And I'll continue following.
All right.
I'll stick with Grumdeck being in the back with his heavy
Okay.
infantry.
Yeah.
So I'm going to...
The scouts are going that way. I guess the heavy big boys are going this way.
Okay. All those dudes. So, and the heavies will come down to bracket you just like so. All right. Let me do one other thing. Because you guys have potentially got something going on in your favor here. There. Let's get a perception roll from everybody. And that's a good one.
Go refresh real quick.
Oh. Well, you know, hey, into each life some rain must fall. Okay, Astoya's looking pretty good there.
Oh.
Salik, you call a halt? Yep, because on a rise to your south and west, slightly west, you see 4 horsemen.
Does it appear they have seen that?
It does not yet.
Okay. Hand signal for Grimdeck. I hold up 4 fingers and then point in the direction.
Okay. So. Okay. Let's do. Oh, wrong button. Yeah. All right. So, you guys have identified the enemy. You see them. They are 140, 150 feet away from your position there, Salik. How do we want to do this?
So I would like to order my arc.
Okay.
Up on this. 2
Okay.
archers up here. I want to keep 2 light infantrymen with me, and we are going to try to sneak as close as we can.
Okay, very good. In that case, let's go ahead and get stealth checks for everybody. Once, twice, thrice, and 4. So your 2 archers go slipping off this a ways. And now that we have successfully we are successfully sneaking up on the bad guys, we are going to go ahead and turn the dynamic lighting the rest of the way off. keep from bogging combat down too terribly much. Salik's got a 15 stealth. Alright, so you and the two guys right here with you, the guys that had moved over from the light infantry, are moving stealthily towards them. Why don't you go ahead and place your token where you want to get to?
My hope is that 15.
Well, let's see. By golly. With that 15, you can absolutely get to there. You don't think they have seen you. They have not reacted to your presence. In fact, they seem to be looking to the south.
Light infantry.
Okay.
I want to try to pencil.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. Indeed. All right, Grimdeck. What about you and your guys? You are from where you are. You have enough forest growth and little rock outcrops and hillocks that you don't actually have line of sight on the enemy yet. You see Salik and his four guys go slipping into the bushes and the trees, and you lose sight of them as well.
Why does no one tell me anything?
I relayed to you with the hand.
Yeah, he pointed.
I held up four fingers.
He keeps I can't even see you.
You can't now. You could then.
Then I guess I'll go in that general direction and make,
Okay.
get as. How close can I feasibly get before they're like, hey, what are you doing here?
Well,
If I were
I
to walk in
will
that general
say
direction.
that while you are moving up, you can probably in this terrain get within 80 feet without necessarily having to make a stealth roll to get up on them. From 80 feet in, you will have to make stealth checks, and your guys will do so at disadvantage. All right. So, Astoya, you said you wanted to stay with Grimdeck and the heavy guys. What do you want to do with Mask and Tremaine?
Okay, so first things I'll cast Mage Armor before I forget.
Okay, Tremaine follows your lead and does the same.
So now it's 15. So I'll just keep that. There you go. All right, so that's one thing. Next, so we know they're down southwest, so I'll probably with Tremaine is still like an apprentice who I'm kind of looking over. So the last thing I want is, especially this early on, is for him to get caught up a little, get too much in danger. So when it comes to him, I tell him to stick close to the heavy infantry. I'm going to send out Owl 1 to kind of accompany Salik. They're an owl, so I believe there's a better chance of them just chilling rather.
All right, very good.
And instead I'm going to get a little closer. I'm gonna try to get to. He's right there. He's right there. So since I'm not wearing like a bunch of armor, I'm gonna be around here.
What's up?
Okay, you're gonna get all the way up there. All right.
So 80. Oh well, I can get closer. You said if you get closer than 80.
If you get closer than 80 feet, you must make a stealth check to do so.
So instead, I'll probably cover this side and be here. That way I have a
Good line of sight.
good line of sight. I can see the rest of my group so that when they engage,
Okay.
I can provide, assistance and backup.
All right, Ricardo, show me on the map where you want to set your troops to start. Where do you want to be?
All right. I think since we can only get about 80 feet in, that's about right here. Yeah,
Yep.
I'd set them up. My boys in that little tree line right here. Just about.
Oop.
Oop. A little bit more.
A little bit more. Okay. So kind of get cover there. And like so. Better?
All right, guys. I think things are about to
Yeah,
go
only
down.
the healer
We're
guys
ready
can
for some
cast right
combat.
You can get the guys like, oh, well, that's fine. I gotta be moving in anyway. That is good.
So, Grimdeck, at this time, if you look next to your character sheet, you will now have a character sheet for the Thug. Those are your guys, and you can now control their movement on the board, and you can open up their NPC sheet to control them in battle.
Cool. Didn't mean to roll that, by the way. Disregard that. But that's awesome.
Fine. And Frankie, same goes for you with your guys.
Let's do this.
You will now have control of yours as well. So, let's take a quick moment and make sure that everybody does indeed have control of their units. Astoya, I'm giving you control of Tremaine and Damascus. So, everybody is ready?
Ready, willing, and able.
Beg pardon?
Ready, willing, and able.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'm happy where I am at.
So I've got them back here with Grimdeck and the heavy infantry. So, where did the other two heavy infantry guys go? Did you move them?
Right here.
Ricardo?
1, 2.
What about
1, 2.
him?
Well, you
1,
should
2,
have
1, 2.
4 of those guys, and I see only 2. Where did your
Hey,
other
4.
guys go?
Yeah, they're
Oh.
right here. 1, 2, and 1, 2.
Yeah.
Huh. Roll20 has decided to be strange. I only see 3. I see 3 now.
What about this guy?
There. Okay. There he is. I
was
wonder why
weird.
those two. I wonder why those two had disappeared. Strange. All right. So we are positioned as best we can be. I believe the moment has come. Let's roll initiative, shall we?
Holy shit.
Oh, those guys are killing it. Wow.
Am I rolling separate initiatives for all my heavy
No,
dudes, or can I just do
roll.
collective?
Just do one for the group. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
roll.
Just remaining.
Get it, man. Okay, so whatever you yourself rolled is just basically the initiative for your group. Okay.
Damn, we're ready.
Better.
My guys are ready to go.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Fool, my intent was that rather than fill the initiative tracker up with, a ton of each one, that we would hit. Okay. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask, how would you go about it? Do we is our initiative shared with our troop, or is the troop kind of separate from our own character?
The troop is separate from your initiative, so go ahead and roll once. Use Mask's sheet to roll off of.
Okay. And then that will be both him and Tremaine's, I'm assuming.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay.
So they are everybody in the initiative order, and we are ready to go. And naturally, at the beginning of combat, our group's healer has the initiative.
He's a healer. Healers shouldn't really be the first to go. They're the ones who mostly react.
Oh, so we don't get any kind of surprise round here?
Well, okay. It is not, in 5th edition rules, a surprise round is not truly a thing that happens. Surprise is a condition. At the beginning of combat, initiative gets rolled, and until their turn has passed in the initiative order, they are surprised, which means they cannot act, they do not have reactions, etc. They will not attack or take any actions this turn because they are surprised. Once their turn has passed in the initiative order, at that point they will gain their reaction, but that really won't do them a whole lot of good this early on.
So I'm going to keep real quick before we start, I can't move Tremaine.
Okay.
Which is fine. They're both got faster turns. I'm having them mostly react to what everyone's going to do, so they're good.
Okay. Tell you what. Grab his token and drag it back out.
Okay. There he is. Oh, never mind.
And now you should be able to control it.
Surprisingly, I actually can for some reason.
So.
It's weird. I can drag his token onto the field, but I can't actually move it.
Oh, that is weird.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Okay, well, we'll sort it out as needed.
Yeah, but for now, they'll pass their turn.
We've got the mask and the grunts from heavy infantry, and it is their move. Grimdeck, your fellers are next.
That they are. Pull out these thugs out. Oh, perfect. Okay. Cool. These suckers move is let's see. Yeah. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, right.
This part's gonna hurt. A little bit. Well, I think they're just gonna take the first turn, dash in here. About as close as they can.
Okay.
Sort of form a line. So, see them kind of being like dashing forward and hoisting up their weapons and stuff, kind of sort of. I got a little. Actually, I think they can probably keep it a bit tight here.
Okay.
Guys that are forming up, you know.
Sure. Makes sense.
Yeah. They do not have
That is
shields. They're just rocking in leather. Well, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. They just dash forward.
Yeah. Each of these guys actually should be equipped with a shield.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
So
do they still have leather armor though, right?
No, these guys are equipped heavy. So we're gonna go ahead, assume that each of those 4 guys has an AC of 16 with chainmail.
Okay.
And I
Chainmail
grabbed
and
tokens.
shield would be 18.
I didn't say they had a shield. I said they had chainmail.
I think you said they had shield.
Did I?
You did.
No, that's fine.
Just,
Okay, chainmail and shield. You are correct. So AC 18.
with
So they have moved and dashed. And it is Salak's turn. Well, my goblin friend,
Okay.
the moment is upon us.
Now it's gonna look like this fuck can cast.
Which one?
This dragon army officer here,
Oh, very nice.
and he's gonna cast Ice Knife. And I
Okay,
get
pop me up
advantage
the
on the
spell
attack
description.
since I'm hidden.
Indeed. That one is an attack roll rather than a saving throw, yes?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Okay.
With advantage. But
Oh.
hit or miss, everybody within 5 feet of him and him needs to make a dex save. DC's only 10.
Okay. Well, let's see. And go ahead and show me the spell description, please. Okay, that's not quite what I needed.
One second.
Okay.
Oh my god. But that's the
There's the button. Okay. Target and each creature within 5 feet of it must succeed. Oh, within 5 feet of it. Okay. Oh, well. 2d6 cold damage, huh? So, okay. And it is a save or suck spell. If they pass the save, they do not take the damage. Well, the terrible news is you targeted specifically the officer himself, and the only creature on the field that is within 5 feet of him is his horse. The good news is neither of them passed the saving throw, so they both take the 9 points of damage. Let's see. All right.
I attempted
Anything
to hide,
else
but
from
I
you?
failed.
Likely, yes. Well, the bad news is that guy knows you're here now. Grimdeck, it is your turn, sir.
Right. Look. Also, gonna charge in. Action. Kind of like Shadow's troops. Form a line and stay strong, my friends. These fools will not know what hit. I think that's it.
These bonus action?
These guys seem poised to attack.
Oh, these guys up here on the hill. Honestly, up until the ice knife that Salik just threw at the officer, these guys were busy looking at something. You're not sure what.
Okay, well, I'll get with attention to this. He shouts, "For honor!" and rages as a bonus.
Okay.
Growing yard.
All right, everybody. Welcome to one of our favorite features of the Path of the Giant Barbarian. Or the Way of the Giant, I suppose. Or is it Path?
It's Path, yeah.
Yeah.
Big mode.
Big mode, indeed. All right. The Dragon Army officer who has just been targeted by this just absolutely what in the heck? Where did that even come? Hey! These guys are all basically surprised. They do not have reactions at this time. So the officer simply turns in the saddle, lifts up his heavy crossbow, and targets the line of soldiers that has stepped out of the trees. He is targeting the first goon on the left, who catches the bolt on his shield, and it glances harmlessly off into the trees. Now, Salik, it is time for your goons to earn their keep.
Okay. All of them are going to, having seen who I targeted, all four are going to make their 2 bow attacks. Same guy.
Boy, that seems oddly specific. Go ahead and make 8 attack rolls for us, would you please?
They are also, they were hidden with me. Do they get advantage?
They do.
21 for 5. 17 for 7. 17 hit?
17 does not hit the officer.
Okay. Next one. That doesn't hit. 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 Next one. Hits for 4. Doesn't hit.
Okay, well, that is a total of 2 hits for 9 damage. You are wearing him down. Ostoya, it is your turn. The guy here closest to you in the line of enemy troops seems to be taking the brunt of the beating at the moment.
Cut off the head and the body will die.
Good strategy.
So first things, we'll move 30 feet ahead. They're not in line of sight, but hopefully they're kind of focused on, the north to really bother looking to their
Yeah, they've not noticed you yet. They have officially been distracted.
Yeah. I'll take my action to like dash and hide behind the tree. But
Okay.
looking to the south, can I spot what exactly they were paying attention to?
From where you are, you cannot see.
Can't see from where. Okay.
Based on what you know about the position you guys should be in on the larger scale of the map, they may be looking down towards the village or possibly towards the road leading in toward the village.
Gotcha. Okay. That will be my turn.
Okay. In that case, it is now the soldiers. All right. They are taking advantage of the fact that they are mounted. And they are coming to kick some butt. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. This guy, first one in line, gets up here with his pony and makes his attack with his multi-attack with his long sword. Once,
Sword.
twice, and your guy here. Oh dear. Takes 10 slashing and 3 fire damage.
Ow.
Yeah, ow. And then he continues to ride past. Five, 10, 15 more.
Provoking
Okay.
opportunity, I'd imagine.
You can make an attack of opportunity. However, he has a feature that allows him to direct your attack against the horse to him. So you cannot attack the horse directly.
That's okay. Could I technically, raw or whatever, you can't, but could I try to pull him off of the horse instead? Try to like grapple him as he's running off, kind of sort of yank him off there. Is that a no?
You are using your goon here to try to do that?
Yeah, I'm a thug. I mean, Grimbeck can't reach that far out.
Yeah. So you can try to make a grapple attack to pull him out of the saddle.
Okay.
But he's using a cavalry saddle. He's going to have advantage to resist that. So it's going to be a little harder to get him out of the saddle.
That's a 16.
It's a pretty good roll. Let's see how he. Oh my gosh! The horse goes charging by. The soldier falls and is knocked prone as he is dragged out of the saddle. He has a roll that makes him prone. Okay. Next goon, or excuse me, next Dragon Army soldier. 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. Gets up in here. And takes advantage of being mounted to also make an attack against this goon. Let's see, there it is. Once. Oh. twice. He is not so fortunate. His attacks rain down like raindrops on a roof. Your trooper's shield shrugs off his attacks as though they had not even happened.
Nice.
And last one comes trotting up. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. And he makes his attack against the guy that shot his boss. Let's see. Frankie. Your scouts.
AC is
Okay. Well, that is 2 hits. Fortunately, he did not have advantage on that attack, so the nat 20 does not apply. But takes a total of 10 points of slashing and 8 points of fire.
Oh, he's dead.
Oof. He is. And that concludes the bad guy's turn. We are back to the top of the initiative. And the mask and Tremaine hanging back in the bushes, hoping to avoid notice for the moment.
Yes, for now they're going to both. Let me see. Okay. So I'll have them both take their action to dash and go in this. Well, I'll move the mask because he can. And then you can just move Tremaine right next to him.
Yep, you show me where you want him, and I will put Tremaine next to him.
So the mask, using his action dash, can move here, and Tremaine would just be next to him.
So,
yep. So that they can assist the left side.
All right.
Yeah, that'll be their turn.
Okie doke. In that case, Ricardo, Grimdeck's goons are ready to move.
Cash money. These 2 guys are just gonna bully this poor soul. Once I attack on him, start wailing on him with their maces. Let's see. Warp. At advantage, I imagine.
Yes,
It's a
advantage
20.
because he's thrown, so that is a dirty 20.
An 18 for
And
the
an
first
18.
guy.
Both of those hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Let's see. How do I go and do that? I know I'd roll a hit, but I don't know how to do it now.
Just click on the word mace there in the attack box.
Oh, gotcha.
7 and 8 is 15.
And then for the second guy, 15 and a dirty 20.
Okay, the dirty 20 hits, the 15 does not.
Looks like it takes another 7 points of damage.
And that leaves him dead at their feet.
Cool. Okay. And then the next guy's here. One of the thugs is going to use the help action on this thug buddy here.
Okay.
And then the other guy is going to use one of his attacks to make a sort of a shove attack and to try to get this guy off his horse as well, with advantage from the guy that's helping him.
Okay.
So, not great. It's 12.
All right. So yeah, 12 is... Yeah, that's not going to get anywhere. That guy is in the saddle, and he is in that saddle like he was welded into it.
It is a multi-attack, so I'll give it another go here. That's a net 20.
That's going to be hard to beat. And he falls down. You drag him out of the saddle. And he falls prone.
Alright. Okay.
You know,
That's all they can do.
If you guys play this right, you may wind up capturing some horses. Right. Salak, it is your turn.
Is it an action to try to get on this horse?
Yes, trying to mount the enemy's warhorse is going to be a neat trick. You are going to have to succeed at an animal handling check in order to get it to let you do so. These are trained warhorses, and they will not let the enemy on them willingly. You'll have to convince them to play nice.
Well then, I have no idea. I'm going to cast sleep at
you. Okay. I guess roll your 5d8. That's a pretty okay roll. 27 out of 40 possible. Better than average. But when you cast sleep, that is an area effect, and it starts working on the first thing that it can in the affected area, which in this case is not the officer. It is instead his horse. Poor pony just gets so drowsy. The horse collapses out from under him, and the officer, let's see, he gets to make, oh, he gets to fail a dexterity saving throw, and he winds up prone. So, it's a good step. I like it. Grimdeck? I don't know. Salak, do you have a bonus action you want to use?
First, I'm going to action surge. And I want to shoot a firebolt. Cantrip.
At whom?
At this man?
He is now prone. You will have disadvantage on a ranged attack against him.
This guy over here is prone. He just killed my scout.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were clicking here. My bad. I did. Okay, so you're going after the guy on horseback over here. All right, go ahead.
That one, man. These guys.
Yikes! Your firebolt strikes the tree, and the leaves begin to smolder and burn. Okay. Grimdeck. I believe now it is your turn.
Yeah, buddy. Grimdeck is going to take out his fancy schmancy new great axe, gonna hoist it over his head, slam it down on the guy that is prone.
Okie dokie.
25.
25 certainly connects.
Alrighty, 4. 6 damage or 7 damage.
Wow, that's unfortunate.
It's a girl to do. Yeah, that's it. That's all he's got.
Okay. Well then. The officer scrambles for his crossbow, comes to his feet, and now that Salak is out in the open, he fires his crossbow at Salak. Die, goblin scum! but a 14 is not going to get there. He will take his movement and get behind the body of his horse to take cover.
That one.
And he will take this opportunity to employ... Oh no, that is an action, not a bonus action. Never mind. He takes cover behind the horse. And now it is the scout's turns. Frankie?
Okay. This one is going to run up. Short attack on this guy.
Okay.
22 to hit, 4.
Okay, absolutely.
21 to hit, 7.
Okay. And that dude gets his very own little red dot.
Okay. Let's see where here. Those shots at him. 18 for 9.
Negative. Oh wait, 18 does hit, yes.
That one missed. Second attack. 20 for 9 more.
And he slumps from the saddle with an arrow in his neck.
Okay, he'll take his last shot. Dragon Army officer.
Okay.
Hit.
No.
Okay, that's the scout.
Okay. Astoya, it is your turn.
Okay, I will try to further help and try to incapacitate the good old this guy for a bit.
Okay.
By getting, let me see if I'm a little. Okay, I gotta get a little closer.
Okay.
So let me just. Oh, perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna head over here.
You know what? You are obviously trying to be furtive and sneaky. Since you are that close, let's go ahead and get a stealth check as part of your movement.
No problem.
I'm just trying to see how quietly you're able to move, because if you draw his attention, that may have consequences.
Of course. Nah, I got a 7. He sees me.
Yeah, he knows you're there. All right.
Problem.
So now that you are there, what are you going to do?
I am going to cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
Ooh, good choice.
I have to make a
And that
DC
is
14
Wisdom saving throw.
Yeah.
You mutter your spell and point. And he turns and he looks at you over the, from behind the body of the horse, and he says, "I'll get you next, witch."
I'm assuming he saved.
Yeah, he saved.
It's okay. That was a good try. And yeah,
It was a great application.
Mm-hmm.
Good spot for that spell.
But I will, that'll be my turn. I use my movement.
Right.
Action.
So we have, let's see, a prone fighter here who is going to take half of his movement to get to his feet. And he is going to start wailing on your goons, sir. Making 2 attacks with his longsword.
They can certainly try.
He lashes out at this guy here. Oh. 17 is a miss. And an 11 is a miss as well. His life flashes before his eyes, and he begins to rethink his life choices. All right. Now,
Good, that'll do him.
we are to the mask and Tremaine. Astoya, what are we going to try to do to help out with our healer and our apprentice?
Mask, get the cart down.
It's
Failed his first test.
No, unless he's dead, I don't know much if Mask can do much to assist. But I know Tremaine can at least. Let me open up. I'll make sure that he moves within 30 feet, just to double check if that's the. Oh, 120. Never mind. So Tremaine is going to attack this fellow right here.
Okay.
With an arcane burst for range.
Okay.
Yeah, 12 though, so I don't know if that hit.
Yeah, that's not going to hit.
It's okay. He's learning.
He's learning. It's fine. All right.
And Mask will, I'll say, probably head down here. Provide. What can he do exactly?
Well, he is a monk. He's an unarmed fighter, but his primary role, like I said, is as the group's healer.
Mm-hmm.
He could stabilize the guy that's down over here.
On the left, right?
Yeah,
okay.
this guy.
Then he will do that, but he has to run over there first. So 5, 10.
Yeah.
So let me see the.
Yeah, he actually has the healer feat, which allows him to actually heal hit point damage, which would get Carp back up on his feet. But it does take an action, so it'll have to wait till next turn now.
No problem. But yeah, that is his. That's what he'll do next turn, and then Tremaine can just offer support.
Okay, very good. Goons are next.
They're gonna start wailing on this poor dude.
Yeah, he's out of luck there, man. He's got 5 of y'all gathered around him. I don't see him making it to the next turn.
They're doing too high. Not to mention like fucking 8 multi attacks. We'll just go down the line from.
Okay.
And they have advantage because of pack tactics.
Oh yes, we have this guy flanked to a fare thee well. 19 hits.
19 for 8.
8. Okay.
22 for.
Hit.
Bonk 4.
Okay. Still up.
Okay. This first guy. Second guy.
Who took the first attack? Was it this guy here?
Yep. That guy.
Very good.
I did that. Well, 21.
21 hits. Damage.
3.
And that drops him.
There we go.
He slumps to the ground, his weapon falling from his limp hand.
And then, okay, so no, this bloke, get that second attack in on him.
Okay.
Let's just be regular heat. No, it does not.
Uh-oh. All right, that is not going to get there, but it does tie him down some.
Nice. I'll go ahead and move over this guy as well. Because they're all kind of same turn.
Yep.
I'm moving as close as I can.
All right.
Yeah, these last 2 suckers make crossbow attacks. Sheriff here.
Keep in mind with their
I can only do
crossbow,
the
they
one.
Yeah.
Miss, and a miss. That's the end of my turn.
Unfortunate. All right. So, Salak, it is your turn. The only
Salak.
enemy remaining on the field besides the horses is the commander.
I'd like to move here. Shout at the Yield and you will be treated with respect. Drop your weapon now. Die.
Oh my.
He's surrounded by heavy infantry. I would like to roll intimidation with advantage. But I'll let you decide.
That. Go ahead and roll it.
23.
Hoo-wee. Good roll. You know, he is surrounded. He knows that there are at least 2 spellcasters in this group that he's facing. His companions are dead. He doesn't drop his weapon. It's not his turn, so you're not sure what he's going to do, but he doesn't just drop his weapon.
Bonus action me shouting that, or did
I'm going to say that was your bonus action for the turn. You can still act.
I will ready my heavy crossbow.
Okay.
If on his turn he goes to swing that sword, I'm going to
Okay. So, one thing that I would like to point out, notice that the swords that his men were wielding inflicted fire damage on a hit. So, Grimdeck, it is your turn.
Explodes him with his mind. Let me introduce. Say something real quick. Here's the thing I never figured out about jumping in D&D. Does the distance that I jump kind of sort of take away from my walking speed, or is it?
It does. Yep, it counts as part of your movement.
10 feet. Anyway, each foot you clear jump costs a foot. Okay. Okay, well, I'll jump up here.
Okay.
And sneeze into the mic. And ready in action to kind of check a hand axe. If he's got both of those hand axes. About both. Gets ready to chuck them in case somebody wants to pull anything. And if he does anything else, drop the weapon. Those are 2 hand axes aimed directly at him.
Okay. So it is now his turn. Moment of truth has arrived. His response to your threat takes you somewhat by surprise. He looks at you all. He clutches his sword with the point down with both hands. He rises to his feet with dignity. and he plunges his flaming sword into the satchel at his hip, and you see flames begin to roll out of it as the maps and orders, whatever, in that pouch burn. He says, "For the glory of Takhisis, strike me down, dogs. I care not."
So, Grimdick saw that he didn't immediately drop his weapon.
Okay.
Could he have maybe chucked a couple hand axes away?
You've got
as he
2
was
hand
doing that?
axes, and Salak has a crossbow attack ready. So, by all means, both of you make your attacks.
Is it possible
Okay.
to do so?
You
That's what I'm
absolutely
trying
can.
to get at.
Yep,
Ish money.
you absolutely can.
That is 9 damage because of giant stuff.
Okay.
And
But
the
you
other
do
hand
only
axe.
you only get to chuck 1.
Only the chuck 1. Disregard that 18 then.
Okay, so
Okay.
7 damage from the first hand axe and 5
Or
damage
9
from the
because of
crossbow.
rage.
Oh,
Yes.
does rage damage apply to a ranged attack?
If you're a Path of the Giant Barbarian, yes it does. Crushing Throw.
Oh, that's right. Path of the Giant Barbarian, everybody. Good stuff. So he takes 14 points of damage. He actually, you bury your hand axe in his shoulder. The arrow strikes him in the right hip, and he gouges the sword down into the satchel and grins at you through bloody teeth. "Is that the best you've got, savages?"
Oh, dude.
But destroying the document pouch is his action for the turn. He does not make an attack. So, let's get a death save for Carp. Poor guy.
Hey, pass that one.
He sure did. Good for him.
Another scout. 30. 2 shot. Hit. 20 for 9.
Yeah. Well, that's the gift that keeps on giving. Our dear friend the captain does now finally have his own little red dot.
Okay. They all miss.
Wow. You know, write it off by the fact that they're kind of aiming uphill. You've got this rise here that they're trying to get over. So, you know, he's got some cover too. He's got your own allies up there with him. So, Ostoya, it's your turn. Ooh, what have you got for me?
I think I'm gonna still keep to incapacitate him. In case,
Okay.
So same.
Gonna cast Tasha's again? Try to get it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tasha's yeah. So yeah. Tasha's.
Okay. Second attempt with Tasha's hideous laughter.
There we go.
Oh, and that is most unfortunate. He has successfully saved again.
19. Oh, yeah, well, I'm not worried about my safety, so yeah, that'll be my turn. I'll leave it up to the rest of them to.
Yeah, I was gonna say your safety is pretty well assured at this point. Now it is the mask's turn.
He will help stabilize him. I believe with the healer, he can bring him up.
Go ahead and make a medicine check for me. Oof.
Yeah.
Well, that's not great. Actually, hang on a minute. Let me read something quick. Make sure I did that the right way. I'm not sure the healer feat actually requires the use of a medicine check. It's just an action.
If he has a healer's kit. Oh, he has a healer's kit, so okay.
You just do it.
Yeah.
So it's
so D6 plus 4 hit points.
Plus the hit dice that they have.
Yep.
So
which is 3. So
10.
Yeah.
Brings him up to 10.
Mask expertly renders aid on the battlefield, literally bringing your buddy Carp back from the edge of death.
Thanks. And Tremaine will probably just stand by. He sees. I can imagine him kind of trying to follow the groups.
Sure.
Yeah. So him being the last one to take a guy out, don't see him doing that just yet. So
yeah. No. Well, and honestly, with that many allies packed in tight around the guy, he's got cover from his horse. There's no realistic way Tremaine can get a clear shot through to him without taking a chance on hitting somebody that's friendly. So
yeah, so he'll stand by.
All right. So Carp is back in action, and it is the Goon Squad's turn. Ricardo, are you gonna let the boys finish him off, or are you gonna try to take him alive?
The documents are like as good as gone, right? Like
it's paper and it's on fire. It's
I think it's safe to I mean, we've been, except for the other guys, we've been doing things practically like non-lethally, sort of, kind of, not really. I think it would be safe to assume that these guys kind of sort of, if you want to like move things along, I imagine 8 multi-attacks at advantage is bound to get him down.
Yeah. He's not going to withstand this.
Yeah, straight up and down. Like, I think just they start wailing on him non-lethally, of course, because they have mate, they can pull their punches here. And they will very aptly
beat him to his knees and take him to the ground. All right.
Yeah.
And that clears out our turn tracker. And now we will take a moment while you guys recover the battlefield, figure out what's going on, where, who's hurt, gather up. See, do any of you have animal handling?
I think I do.
I am not.
I do. Hey.
Grimdeck, would you like to try to make an animal handling check and try to gather up the horses?
Or can I cast Thaumaturgy? Super duper quick. Make my voice. Was it 3 times louder? Yes. And kind of sort of do like a horse call, try to like get advantage as it, kind of like echoes out through the woods.
Horses are typically fairly skittish animals. I don't know that producing a louder sound is going to work for that.
Then animal handling it is.
Yeah.
19.
19. That's a pretty good roll. So yeah, you are able to begin gathering up the horses. So let's take a moment and let's find out what's been going on with our poor, lost little runaway who has resisted the call to action by striking off on his own.
Alright, do I just put my character anywhere on the map?
Let's see. Let's go ahead. Drop your character sheet here.
Okay.
There we go. And while I do recognize that the rest of you are not present for what is about to take place, if you want to go ahead and put your tokens on the screen in that same region so that you can see what's happening at least, because it would just take the fun right out of it if it was a total mystery. I mean, we're streaming and everything. I mean, goodness.
Come on now.
I do hope for anybody still with us and watching that you guys are enjoying as we get our new friends and their troops in deep, deep, deep trouble.
That deep, huh?
That deep.
Okay, where are we putting our suckers at?
Okay, top right-hand corner of the big black square.
I'm gonna put the rest of our goon squad here.
You don't need your squad there.
We.
This is just for reference, so y'all can see what's going on. Now then, Bravo, you are alone. You know who you are, or trying to, because you're not sure you're actually gaining on them. You may not be. But as you are moving through the forest, you will probably want to make another stealth check for us. Let's see how you're doing sneaking up.
Give me 1 sec. Roll 20 just crashed on me.
Oh! Well, that's all part of the process, folks. This is why we call it live streaming.
Alright. Okay. Is my character sheet on there? Because my screen got black.
When you reload it, it automatically takes you back out. So your token is still on the map, yes, but you may need to drag a new token out to the same spot. I will just get rid of the first one, except you placed the new one on top of it. There we go. So now you can see. Yes?
Yes, I can see now.
Okay. So,
Stealth?
Stealth check, yes, sir. Oh, love to see it. Now, good news, bad news. You are moving sneakily. You are being cautious. However, moving quietly and stealthily means you are moving at half speed. It is far more difficult to move quietly than it is to just charge ahead. However, as you move through the forest, you begin to hear voices up ahead. Roll a perception check. Again, Very good. With a 21 on your perception check, you overhear as these two riders, both of whom are wearing red and black armor. It is mostly black with, the trim and the detail work picked out in red. The shoulder pauldrons are red. The gauntlets are red. They are riding war horses with matching barding. And you realize that the terrain is working in your favor. They are having to take it fairly slow. This is hilly and somewhat rocky terrain. The horses are having to be very cautious of their footing as they move through the trees. So you do have the opportunity to gain on these guys, even despite the fact that you are having to move so quietly to sneak up on them.
Okay. All right.
However, the other thing that you get with that 21 on your perception check is the realization that you know where they're headed. As down here, kind of along this corner of the map, you realize that what they are doing, they are moving towards the road that leads into Vogler. You're not sure what their ultimate intention is, but it is really obvious that they are headed for that road, which really only goes one way. They could turn left and head off into the wilderness again, but it seems like that'd be a weird choice to make. They're headed for the village. You also realize that with the path that the other track was going, where the rest of the group went, those guys were moving to a position where they could look down and see what happens when these guys reach the village.
Okay. So I'm going to... This is a hill, right? This right here?
Can't see what you're pointing at. Sorry, hang on. Yes, that is a hill.
Alright, I'm going to try to climb up on it.
Okay.
Right around here.
Okay. And
let me just see something. Alright, they are... I forgot, what is the range of my crossbow? My hand crossbow? Is it 30 or 50? It's 30.
I think it's 30, yeah.
Yeah. Alright.
Yep. Short range is 30. Anything beyond that is going to be at disadvantage.
Alright, then I will try to get as close to them as sneak attack.
Okay. Well, you had that nat 20 on your stealth roll, so you should be able to get close. You have got to get to here, or You could go here, or even here, and have sneak on the first guy there to the north.
Yeah, I think we'll do that.
Okay.
He's using his wings, yay!
All right. So let's go ahead. You have definitely got the drop on them. So again, they will be surprised for the first turn. But let's go ahead and get initiative rolled. Because once you shoot at them, they are going to know that you are shooting at them. Okay. And... okay. So, they don't know you're here. They are continuing to move and talk. You are in position. Take your shot. Are you going after the one to the north or the one to the south first?
The one to the north.
Okay. Make your attack.
Oh, come on.
Oh dear.
Wait, do I still have inspiration from the previous round or no? The previous
Yeah,
game?
I am more than willing to let you use diminutive half steps inspiration point that you earned on your new character. That's up to you.
Alright.
This is
Yes,
a darn
that
good
was-
place to use it.
I will use his to reroll. It's a reroll, right?
Yep.
Okay. Not 20.
Indeed.
Would it be the 8?
Well, you are hidden. You have the advantage. So yes, you have a nat
Okay.
20. Now, before we start doing crazy stuff here, I use a homebrewed damage calculation for critical hits. You will do max damage for the regular damage plus sneak attack plus your so you've got a hand crossbow that does a d6, you've got 2d6 from your sneak attack. So you're going to be doing 18 points plus your dexterity bonus.
So 21 points.
So 21 points right off the top. And now you're going to roll 3d6 and add your dexterity bonus again.
Okay.
So
So 3d6 plus 3.
yep. So
15.
15 more points on top of 21. 36 points of damage in a single fell swoop. That is more than double this guy's constitution score. But we are going to take a moment and we are going to mourn the loss of the massive damage threshold rules. 5th edition dropped those like a hot rock. You do 36 points of damage and undeniably catch his attention. But your attack does not fell your foe. He reels under the impact of your crossbow bolt, though, and gasps in pain. Now, that was your attack. You now have a bonus action. What would you like to do?
Bonus action to hide.
Bonus action to hide, okay?
It's
Are
still
you
in
going
the
to-
same tree.
Hmm?
Oh, sorry.
Y- you may need to move to seek cover, because they did, now that you have attacked, they have looked back and found you on the battlefield. They know where you are now. So you will need to find a spot where you can break line of sight and hide out of sight.
I think between the two trees right here.
Okay. Go ahead and make a stealth check. Let's see how we do.
Dirty 20.
A dirty 20 is not bad. So, I guess let's find out how they do. Oh. Well, that's unfortunate. You are on the ground between those two trees. And the guy that you did not attack... 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60... No. Wrong direction. Moves up here. And fires his crossbow at you. Oh, and gets a natural 20 on his attack roll.
Well, it was nice knowing you, bud.
Nicholas?
Yes.
Do tell, how many hit points do you have, sir?
24.
Oh, that's not great. Ah,
That's what you get for working against the party, brother. That's all I gotta say about
that's... Yeah. I mean, if all you had done was go running off into the woods, you might have found these guys and been able to follow them, and that would be one thing, but having found them and then to try to attack them by yourself may have been a poor choice.
If you wanted to switch out characters that early, you could have just said so.
Yeah.
No, this is my favorite character I played.
Should have stayed with us then, bud. This is 100% tacitly, without question, your own fault.
Yeah. He lands the nat 20 with the heavy crossbow, and even without the fire damage that a Dragon Army officer does with a weapon attack, the crit rule that I'm using, his base damage is 12 with a heavy crossbow, and he rolled 8 more. That's 20 points of damage from their first attack. You're not dead, but you are definitely not as well off as you would like to be. After seeing his crossbow bolt take you in the guts, he smiles cruelly at you and he says, "Surrender, knave. And we might let you live."
Trying to think. Okay. You got me. You got me good. I'll be a POW. Just so long as I get to keep my coat.
As long as you get to keep your coat?
Yes.
Alright. So, we are going to take a moment. We are going to fade to black here. Nicholas, you are going to be disarmed. You're going to be searched thoroughly. The one that you shot is going to keep his crossbow trained on you, while the one who is uninjured searches you, disarms you, confiscates all of your belongings. Your statement of, "at least let me keep my coat," does nothing for you. They literally strip you down to your small clothes. They even take your boots.
They gave me 3 inches of height.
Well, that's tragic. the mullet and mustache still makes up for the loss of dignity in other areas. So, yeah, you are captured. Your hands are bound together, and they drag you towards town. So, let's go back to the map. The rest of you, having cleaned up the site of your brief battle, break out of the trees, or begin to break out of the trees, I guess, and realize okay, so we are maybe on the wrong map yet. You know what? We are. There. That's the one. Yeah. Welcome back to the town of Vogler, everybody. It's been so long. So, you'll notice here on the map, in this position, we have the gate that actually nominally protects the town from, harassment from outside. Your path through the forest has brought most of the unit to this, high hill overlooking the road. You guys are basically here. From this position, you can look down the valley. You can see the regiment's camp. You can see Thornwall Keep. You can see the river gate. And you watch in, I don't know, disbelief, or maybe you're not surprised, as you watch two riders dressed all in that same black and red armor, red cloaks flowing down their backs, their war horses dressed in, and fully barded. As they approach the gate...
Quick question.
Am
I gagged at all?
Depends. Did you make a pain in the ass of yourself trying to chatter and talk to them?
I think you know the answer.
I think I do. Yes, you're gagged. It did not take more than a single smart-ass comment for you to find a dirty, smelly piece of rag stuffed in your mouth. But the rest of you look on in not necessarily surprise, but maybe a little bit of disbelief. Your runaway recruit has managed to get himself captured by the other two men who had left that campsite. As they approach the gate, they are dragging him behind them. He is stumbling down the road, stripped bare. He has, like I said, his small clothes only. No pants, no shirt, no weapons, no thieves' tools.
You don't do well.
Yeah, you ain't getting a lot of traction here, sir. I'm afraid that you have gone and done it, as it were. But Yeah, you have gone and done it for sure. But, do you guys follow along as they approach the gate? Staying out of sight up on the cliff face, or do you rain hell down upon them?
Let me look at my spells real quick. I think I might have something available to save them.
Okay.
I lied. It was... Did not prepare that spell today.
Oh.
I mean, I could, like, before I inform my party, I mean, if we get close enough, I can toss a serious laughter, possibly one of them,
Okay.
to incapacitate them, while the rest focus on the other, to save our pal.
Well,
They're
that's
at the
legit.
gate.
They ride up to the gate and get within hailing distance.
Yeah, that's the only thing I personally can do.
We don't have our goons with us, do we?
Oh yeah, sure. You're all here.
Yeah,
Uh,
and 8 shots plus mine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just gonna
Now,
write down
they
there.
they are riding up to the gate.
Just rain down arrows on them.
All right.
Yeah.
So you do not let them reach the gate. Okay, very good.
Hell no.
You know, Nicholas is being dragged behind them, probably 15 feet behind them. There are 2 of them. There are 10, 12 of y'all. 13 total. Yeah, this is a no-brainer. You murder the hell out of them from the heights above. There is not even a need to enter initiative order. Those 2 guys go down under a hail of arrows. You've got 4 scouts who all have incredible proficiency with longbows. And you've got 4 goons that all carry heavy crossbows. And then, you know, yeah. Salik, are you contributing anything other than a gleeful chuckle as you watch them die?
Besides spamming my firebolt into the air like a flare, try and catch it.
Okay. Whose attention are you attempting to catch?
Well, we're right outside the city, right? So we're up here
Yeah,
by
you're right
Thornwall Keep.
outside of town.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here by Thornwall Keep, yeah.
Now, you are probably going to have to circle a good ways around to get down off of this little bluff. It is a good 40 feet down, and it's pretty sheer. So, right.
Acrobatics check.
You know, I was just gonna say if you are trying to catch the attention of people in the keep with your firebolt, that's fine. You can do that and not worry about going down the bluff.
Yeah, because it's 120 feet from where you put us, I guess.
Yeah,
I can pretty much hit the keep if I want.
sure. I don't know that that's entirely necessary, but you know, the
Right,
idea here is
exactly.
to represent that you guys are
Thin
you
enough
guys
place.
had a little bit of cover at the edge of the woods is why I dropped you right there. But yeah, so you murder the heck out of these guys. And then the group of you, let's see, we'll go ahead and hop maps again. Well, I guess we won't, actually. This is the best map of Ogre I have. So, we will dial in and revert to a little bit of theater of the mind. As you guys circle around, Nick, you've got the greatest opportunity ever. These guys haven't said a word since they have taken you prisoner. Your gear is tied up in a bundle across in front of one of the riders. You cannot get to it. Your feet are bloody. You are bruised, injured. You've still got a crossbow bolt sticking out of you. You're pretty sure that it's going to kill you eventually if these guys don't finish you off themselves. And they are dragging you down the road. Up ahead, you see the gate. The stockade that protects the town of Vogler from hostile traffic. You see the gate. And then all of a sudden, you're not sure what's going to happen next. But there is a sound like whispering. And a dozen arrows rain down from the heights above on your left-hand side and catch these two men and their horses in just a hail of feathered death. And the one bit of really good news that you get out of this, both of these men fall from their saddles. Make a dexterity saving throw for me, please. Your hands are still bound, but you are able to move.
Ooh. 7.
Roll the d4.
Three.
You take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as you are knocked aside, as the horses turn and flee back up the road, leaving you dazed and barely conscious with 1 hit point left. While the party that you tried so desperately to run away from, rather than join, winds their way down off the hill and comes down and rescues your ass. Meanwhile, from the heights on the other side, the knight, Becklin, descends from Thornwall Keep, sounding a horn as she does so. Becklin Uthviharan comes riding down to you all, and you are joined in fairly short order by Captain Ironsmile and Master Sergeant Fairweather, or excuse me, Sergeant Major. The Sergeant Major looks at you all, looks at poor Nicholas lying there in his underwear on the side of the road with his hands tied and the rope leading to one of the goons that just got killed. And he says, "Huh." He turns and he looks at you, Salik, and you, Grimdick, and you, Astoya. Says, "Well, congratulations. I didn't think we'd ever see this one again. I'm not sure if I'm disappointed or just surprised."
I believe
It's all
there will
right.
be plenty of time to discuss this later. When you agree, Nicholas.
He's gonna have a hard time discussing anything from the kitchen. Oh, there's so many potatoes for you to peel, my friend. Each one a level
Yeah.
in and of itself.
And
I'm
green
feeling so good
tomatoes.
right now.
They make your hands sticky and smelly. Trust me, I
like
know.
fried tomatoes. I like fried tomatoes.
You won't like peeling them.
Big Bucket walks past him, looks down at him, spits on the ground between your feet. Says, "All right." And the soldiers that you had taken with you on this little patrol gather round and begin making certain that the dead bodies are in fact dead. Fleet comes up out of one of the pouches that one of them was carrying and says, Corporal, Captain, you guys want to take a look at this? And what he presents to you is a letter.
Okay, I open it up and pretend to read it, and then go, huh. Ah.
And then I'll take.
You don't know what it says, do you?
I'm holding it
Hope
upside
Stoya
down.
will take the letter because she's fully aware that Salak doesn't, because he had her read a letter for him, and she's gonna read it out loud.
The black and red mail that these guys are wearing is embossed on the breastplate with the holy symbol of Takesis.
Ah, that's a symbol I should.
Interesting.
What is it about this little podunk town in the middle of nowhere? Drawing so much attention.
I wish I knew.
There's like fish. Like that's their thing. It's fish.
Well,
fish.
It is a strategic spot on the river, and Astoya, what does the letter say? So you break the wax seal on the scroll, and the letter reads, People of Vogler, by the order of Belathion, the voice of Takesis, you will quarter the soldiers of the invincible Red Dragon Army this night. Refuse and die. This is the Dragon Queen's will.
Upon reading it, I'll look at the captain.
The captain looks at you, looks at Salak, looks at Grimdeck, looks at the knight. Becklin says, that doesn't sound good.
Dragon? There's no dragons left.
If that is the case, I believe it may be their mission to, well, undo that little fact.
This is a problem. How many of these men did you encounter? Was it just these two?
There were
6.
Yes,
Where
6
were
in total.
Where were the other 4?
Up on the hill, and we'll explain.
Yeah. So you explain that they were up in the woods and moving into position to watch what happened here. Because their path would bring you you were following the path that they were on directly out here, so that they would be in easy sight to see what happened at the gate.
Here's what I think. I think we were supposed to be betrayed during the reenactment. I think Dragonus and his men intended to kill farmers and the rest of us. And I think these people were to walk in afterward. Their demand. Hold the city hostage. Chaos?
Looks like someone read the module.
No, I didn't.
Oddly suspicious.
That's hilarious.
What great insight you have, my friend.
I literally have not read them.
Well,
I'm not
you're
sure, but
far off.
I think Frankie's actually the only person in this game who isn't familiar with at least the beginnings of the module.
Really?
I hadn't even heard of Kryn until I
You-
joined this game.
You would have, dude. You would have fucking fooled me.
Yeah, you really did lay that one out there really nicely.
Yeah, that was it. You got it in one.
All right, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is why it's really hard to slip one past a good storyteller. All right. So Becklin looks at the captain, looks at you guys, says, "Cudgel, come with me. We need to meet with the mayor." You're absolutely right. Gosh. So the captain turns and looks at you all and says, "Get this man some medical attention. Get this mess cleaned up. Go through these guys. See if they've got anything else that matters. And Sergeant Major, tell Lieutenants Erdrich and Vedyev that they need to get everybody organized and ready to move. We have got company coming."
Move. Where? On the offensive? On the move? Where?
Everybody make perception rolls.
Okay. Boom.
Dang.
Nasty little 20.
Oh.
Mm.
Okay. Grimdeck, maybe it's just because you're taller than everybody else standing around here.
I was beat up, that's why.
Yeah, that likely story. You look to the north and west along the track of the road. And you see something that the others do not yet. As we look from Vogler, and we look to the north and west along the road, in the distance, just right at the horizon, as far out as you can see, you see something sparkle and catch your attention. And you realize what you are seeing is a dust cloud and the sparkle of sunlight on armor. Probably 15, maybe 18 miles out.
How big of a dust cloud?
You know, at that range, it's kind of hard to tell. But if it's big, whatever it is that's out there, if it's big enough to make a dust cloud that you can see from this distance, that's probably going to be a point of concern that your measly 110 men left in the Iron Regiment is going to have some serious trouble with. Do you point it out to anybody else?
No, because I'm a secret spy of Takesis. No, that'd be crazy.
I knew it.
That was the original plan, but also not really. Also, kinda.
Well, I didn't think it was time to make the big reveal about your true identity yet, but go ahead.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, so Grimdick pulls off his mask, and you see a big, scaly face, and he's just like, "Gotcha now, suckers!" No. Yeah, so who all is here? Like, NPC what? So I don't mess up ranks.
the captain, the sergeant major, and the knight who makes her home here in the village, Becklin Uthviharen.
Okay. He kind of like turns to them, just like, Captain, Sergeant Mayor, I do hope our next plans are evacuation.
What? What's wrong?
He points a big finger to the dust cloud ahead and says, we do not stand a chance against them. If we evacuate now, we may get a head start on at least saving some of the lives here. I know it is not my position to make any judgment calls or any sorts of plans of action, but I am humble enough to admit when we are incapable of winning. They will slaughter us the minute they breach the gate. We cannot stay in Vogler.
Captain looks at you. Says, Grimdeck, I can't see it from here. Get me up on your shoulders, will you?
Of course. Not any kind of just. What's up? Who's asking, the captain or the sergeant?
The captain.
Captain. Yeah. What's up, the captain?
She looks down at the sergeant major and she opens her mouth. No words come out. The sergeant major just produces a spyglass from a case at his belt. Here you go, Cap. She balances carefully on your shoulders with your hands kind of on her legs to help steady her in place. Remind me, what is your strength score?
16.
Oh, you're fine. Hell,
And
you're
he also
alive.
can, in Mountborn, he can carry like a lot.
Oh yeah, tons. So yeah, she gets up on your shoulders and kind of peers through the spyglass. And you guys can all watch as the color just drains from her face. All right. Get started. Get everybody ready to move. We are going. She says, Becklin, I don't have time to meet with the mayor. You go to the mayor. Tell the mayor to start getting everybody ready to evacuate. We have taken the gold for this commission. We will protect the town to the best of our ability. But if we're going to do that, we have to meet these assholes away from the village. Good luck. We are going to strike out, and we will try to ambush and harass their forces to keep them from reaching the village until you can get the people evacuated. But we have to go now. Becklin looks around. She calls up to the Thornwall Keep, looking down over the gate, and she says, "Go ahead, do what you need to do. I will see to the mayor. This is terrible. This is unthinkable. Go." And she turns and strides towards the gate, while the rest of you follow the captain in towards the camp and begin getting ready to face your imminent death.
Alright, well, that was a good campaign, guys.
Yeah, thanks
GG's
for having me.
GG's
guys.
all around.
GG's all around.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine all of us just giving each other handshakes, like nice knowing you,
Yeah.
knowing you, GG's.
I think when the Grim Deck kind of like Grim Deck and gang kind of like get to the camp, I think you would cast Thaumaturgy, kind of sort of rally the troops a little bit, just Iron Regiment to arms, and just kind of let that boom out from the camp, kind of get everybody up and at 'em.
Salik looks down at Nick, go see Taylor, and then come right back. You have 45 minutes, and if you don't come, I'll kill you myself.
And that's the way it goes. All right. So, here is the deal, Sparkies. Everybody is going to get to take a short rest, not a long rest. We are going to call it here for the night. When next we meet, we will undertake the desperate defense of the village of Ogler. Let the people that live there take care of their evacuation. They've got a half-trained militia to help them get that job done. You guys are soldiers, and you've been paid to protect the town.
I have it.
No, it's true.
And with that, guys, thank you for stopping by tonight. Thanks for all the people who showed up in the chat. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. This was a little bit impromptu. I don't just run games. I play. So, just a little insight into me playing a game. Hope you guys have a good night.